Hello and welcome to the homemade. Tonight we are making linguine and clam sauce. This is something that I have been making for at least 20 to 25 years. It is so simple. It sounds like something that you've taken all day to cook, and you sound like a genius when you show up and people just absolutely love it. I've been asked for this recipe more than any other recipe in my entire lifetime. It is so easy and I'm so excited to share it with you. Okay, the first thing that I have going on here, hopefully you can see me. I am, everything in the background here, everything ready. Biggest problem, the biggest problem that you see on TV is that they say, hey, this is a 30-minute meal. Yeah, it may be when they're flipping through it like this, but 90% of your work is in your prep. So have everything ready to go. Know your ingredients, have them all laid out in the place you can see. I have my little station here for cutting. I have my can opener over there ready to go for the things that I need to open with a can. I have the stuff that I need for pasta. This is a phenomenal pasta dish made with linguine. Probably a lot of you have never even tried something with linguine because it sounds like, gee, I don't know, what do I do with it? So it is fantastic. And then I have my oven going. You can see I have both of my burners on. I have them on low, but I have everything kind of ready in a station so that I know exactly what I need to do and when to do it. Now, little fact about me is that I have perfect vision, except close up. I did have cataracts at the age of 45, and out of all the freaking diseases that I had in my life, guess what? This one was my favorite because I was able to get, under insurance, of course, perfect vision. So I don't mind. I go to the dollar store, get a bunch of these, different magnitudes. Life is great. So the first thing that we're going to do is we need to dice an onion. Cut off, see, this part I can't stand. You never know what you're gonna get when you get an onion. You try to get them, you try to go to the grocery store and you try to get them so that they are nice and hard, because you don't want that gooky stuff in the middle. So just dig that out. If you want to use a spoon, a back of a spoon works really well, so you don't get it on your fingers, but I really don't. I don't mind the smell. Makes me feel like I did something today. All you want to leave this part of the onion on. That's the root where it grew from Mother Earth. Leave that on. This is how you get the perfect dice. And I'm going to try to do it backwards, actually. Just peel off. We're going to use one medium onion. This is just the basic onions that you get in the grocery store in a bag. They don't have to be anything fancy, not a special onion by any stretch of the imagination. Peel off the first top layer. Doesn't have to be perfect or beautiful. It's all going into one pot anyway. Now this is the trick. Take your knife, these knives I got. Love them. Aren't they pretty? They have a hammered edge on them. They're Cuisinart. Usually knives, I've been looking to buy new knives ever since, oh my gosh, it's been about a decade. So I happen to see these on Morning Save. I think it was Morning Save or Local Steals and Deals, something like that. And they were $54, including shipping and including the box. Like, wow. Oh, no, I think it was $4.99 shipping a month. And you can have, excuse me, unlimited shipping. These are awesome. Love them. Even came with one of those little sharpening things that personally I would never use. I would take them to a knife person who actually knows how to cut them. But anyway, this is what you want to do. Hopefully you can see here. You have your whole onion to dice. So simple. Take your knife, slowly go down, and what you're doing here is you're going straight to that little, that's why you want to keep this on here. And you have this on here, make a little dice. That's even kind of too big. I want to go all the way down to the bottom. See, that's better. And you make little incisions all the way around. Remember, don't cut off that little root part. The technical term on an onion is, it's called a nipple. But that's the last time you'll probably hear me say that. So there it is. You have it all cut up, and then watch what happens. You see that perfect little, like, I don't know, when you cut a watermelon into like little pieces that are half moons, like that. Watch this. Always use your hands, this part. You'll never cut your fingers. See that? Boom. Nice. Just move your fingernails straight back. Nice knives make your life so much easier. And you end up with an absolutely perfect little dice. And then at the end, you just have the rest of that little bit. Get that rest of the nipple out of there. Oh, I did say it again. I mean, it is what it is. That's what it's called. Terminology is what it is. And if you want to dice, please, knuckles, easy. But look at this, piece of cake. Like, come on. How easy is that? People try to do a fine dice, and all there is to it. There's the trick. Again, this is what I love, a little scraper. Good old dollar store item. And again, I'm doing just right there, straight through. Again, I'm sticking my fingernails. If you don't have nails, it's fine. But I'm protecting myself so I don't cut myself. Then you go around the other way. Yeah, a little piece will fall out every once in a while. Sometimes you go all the way through. And yes, these are sharp onions. A trick, instead of having your onions make you cry, put them in the refrigerator. That's an old Amish trick that I learned from a wonderful woman named Catherine who joined our family many, many years ago. They fell in love whenever my cousin was driving her to her job, and she actually left the Amish country, and they began dating, and hopefully someday they'll, get married. But if not, I mean, you never know where you're going to find love. The heart wants what the heart wants. Now see, I just cut myself. These suckers are new, sharp, and it's okay. Just don't get that onion juice in it. Hey, honey, can you grab me a Band-Aid? I cut myself on my new knives. I really don't feel like any onion juice in there. It's not necessity at the moment, but it's gonna be. Okay, so we have our knives sharpened, beyond sharp. Let's wash my hands. My fabulous husband, Dave. Love him so much. 20 years is going to be. 20 years. In less than 2 months. Less than 2 months. Exciting. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to walk over here. First thing I did though, before I even came on air here, is I started a big gigantic thing of pasta water. Now it's been boiling there for a little while, so I'm going to need to add a little bit more water into it. Don't use hot water. Hot water has minerals and stuff in your hot water tank, and so therefore you don't want that. I personally prefer to use my refrigerator water. If I'm using that for if I'm making a dressing or anything like that, I always use my refrigerator water. Like for rice, because I just want to have the nicest, purest possible water available. So there we go. You want to see, mistakes happen in the kitchen all the time. Like I said, you're going to see me as I am. As it happens, they're on the bed. You're going to see me exactly how I am. You want to take your salt water, big gigantic pinch of kosher salt. Let's make it 2. Only time you can actually season your pasta is in the water itself, so therefore it absorbs and it's ready to go. Let's put the lid on that, turn that up on high, get it ready to boil. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Thank you. Ta-da. I'm lucky, aren't I? Yes, I am. And I know it every day. Thanks, babe. Okay, so we are going to go ahead. We're going to move the camera here. Follow me. Hopefully I didn't just turn it off. And, oh, got to see my ceiling there. How was it? Was it a great view? I don't know. We're about to find out. So, listen, I am new to this whole videoing thing, as I've stated before, and I'm learning. You're learning along with me. So, please bear with me as I'm trying to make everything work for you. And all the recipe is going to be available at the bottom of my YouTube channel in the description. So please make this at home. I guarantee you are going to love it. Let's make sure that y'all can see exactly what I'm going to do. If you're from Pittsburgh, you would say yins, guys. I still don't say that, but it is what it is. It's a cute little thing. It's a Berg thing. That's actually what we do say. And let's see. Can we see there? Nope, you can't see my pot. Oh, there we go. There's the pot. Let's hope it does not fall now. Whoops. Move that to the other side. Let's see. Back this up. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, back it up. Back it up. There we go. Okay. Maybe if I put it on the microwave, you'd be able to see. Nah. Let's make it interesting. Okay. Need something a little heavier than what this is. Let's try a candle. There we go. Whoops. Nope, you don't. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, so our water's here. Hopefully you can see me. If not, that's okay. What I have in here is a nice pan on medium-low heat. I'm going to take olive oil, about a tablespoon, whip it around there, maybe 2 tablespoons. I'm actually doubling this recipe today because my family absolutely loves linguine and clam sauce. One of our favorites, always has been. The next thing I'm going to do is use an entire stick of butter. This whole entire recipe, believe it or not, is less than 600 calories. And I'm talking about a big, massive heaping of this. Now, I am using Barefoot Chardonnay. I happen to love it, not only for cooking, but for what I am going to have with it, because this is a white wine type of a dish, and it is so good. So there we go. Now I'm going to turn it on high, because I'm going to use my onions. I'm putting another dash of kosher salt in here, and going to take our onions that we just made. And as soon as the butter gets itself a little bit more down in there. Like I said, if I was only doing a single version of this, just cut everything in half. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, half a stick of butter. Now I'm putting in a half an onion. Again, like I said, I'm doubling it because this tastes so good the day after. It is a delicious meal. Use your finger, get all that goodness in there. Now what we're going to do is just wait until those onions start to turn a little bit translucent. So I'm just getting these in there. Here's where I'm going to add a little bit of... I do also have my oven on 350 because I found a gorgeous baguette at the grocery store. Gorgeous French baguette. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh, I actually bought it last week. Stuck it in the freezer, fresh as new. Just make sure it's wrapped tightly. I'm just gonna put that right in there. I'm gonna remember that I have it in there, so I am going to time it. Nah, it's fine. Let's just turn it down. It's at 350 right now. I'm going to turn it down to about 275 because I don't want it to get burnt. I just want it to get nice, good, and doughy inside of there. So here's our onions. Look at that. Just in a little bit of time right there. Perfectly translucent. Can you see the translucence of it? They're almost completely done. What we're going to do next is, it's up to you. If you would like to use fresh garlic, go for it. When you use your garlic press, do not worry about taking off the skin in your garlic press. There's no need to take the skin off when you're using a garlic press. I didn't know that until literally 3 days ago. So I'm gonna take a nice heaping teaspoon of garlic. Now this is up to you. My family loves it, so boom, here we go. Do not put the garlic in at the same time as your onions because garlic has a tendency to burn extremely easily. So I'm just getting it in there. I'm trying to let it loosen up all its aromas and flavors and all of that good stuff. Now I'm going to turn this on to medium because it will not take long. So hopefully I'm going to turn my little camera over here so you can see where I'm going to go. Over there, and I'm going to zoom in on my can opener. First thing you need to know about a can opener, it is the dirtiest object in the kitchen. Up in here, first place if you go to a restaurant, that's where the health department looks because so many bacteria and disgustingness can grow into here. Put it in your dishwasher, sanitize it. Make sure you sanitize the wheel also every time you use it because you do not want to cross-contaminate, get anybody sick or have food poisoning in your home. So easy, just pop it right back in, pop it off, and why can't I do it? That's because it's in front of you, and boom. All right, there we go. So for time's sake, I actually did a lot of these. Make sure you wipe this off with some soap and water because inevitably what happens anytime you open something, boom, the lid goes to the bottom. So who wants that shelf gook in there? Not me. So what you're going to do is open these up. I have 6. We love our clams in this house. So personally, we like to use a lot. Generally, it would be 4 for your regular. I did 6, sometimes 8. I personally like to do a mix of minced clams. I love snows, they're fantastic, and also chopped. That way you get a bit of everything. All right, now we are back to, whoops, sorry. I will get better at this, I'm sure. Get back better to our good old garlic mixture. Now, I have my barefoot wine. Another trick. Don't worry about trying to get this thing off prior to. Just stick your corkscrew in there. Ba-boom. This is called deglazing your pan. Watch. On high. Dump it in there. You can use cooking wine. That's absolutely fine. I just kind of eyeball it. A little bit more. The alcohol will burn off. And let it go ahead and boil up. Put the rest of that in the refrigerator for yourself, your family. They will enjoy it. So will you. Plus, again, this goes perfectly with your meat. Okay. So that is deglazing. Again, I was saying, if you want to, you absolutely can use cooking wine. There's nothing wrong with that, except do not use salt. Do not add any extra salt in here. The reason why cooking wine is available in your local grocery store is because they add an insane amount of salt to it, so it's not actually drinkable. That's why cooking wine is different than wine. So, we've got that going. Here our pot is boiling. Always add either vegetable oil or olive oil into your pasta water so it stops sticking. Then, like I said, I'm doubling my recipe, so there's 2. So that's just cooking away, doing its thing. I'm letting all of the wine, all I want is the flavor of the wine in there. Hopefully you can see my pot. Yes, you can. Nice. Okay. And we have 1. Follow the directions. I believe that this is between 11 minutes, 9 and 11 minutes for al dente. Actually, sorry, I lied. 7 to 9 minutes. I'm going to probably go with an 8.5 minutes, somewhere around there. I do not like my do not like my pasta to be uncooked. To me, it just, but that's up to you, personal preference. Put that in there, Get it all down into the water. Don't let any of those little buggers stick out. Do not start your timer for your pasta until it reboils, because otherwise you'll come up with nasty pasta every single time. Been there, done that. And then since you added some oil in there and you have your salt, the oil will help keep everything separated, and you won't have like the big glob and stick of a clump of spaghetti, which is so nasty. Again, we're using linguine. I have never used anything else but linguine for this recipe. So therefore, my recommendation, go get some linguine. Love it at the store when they are 10 for $1, and life is good. Put that on. I'm going to set my timer now for 8 minutes so that I'm ready to go. As soon as it goes, pow, I know it's ready. Now what we're going to do, take our clam juice and put it directly into your pot. Squeeze all of that goodness out of there. Reserve the clams. Put the clams away. Do not put them in at this time. You want your clams to stay, they go in at the last minute. Squeeze all that goodness in there. Put it on about medium. Now it's starting to bubble. You see on the edges it's starting to bubble there. This is what makes your sauce. I do not use anything for thickening except for whatever's in there. This happens to be a pan where I can actually use metal utensils on. So double check with your pan. You do not want to eat that thing's Teflon ends up looking like you put pepper in a meal and there's no pepper. Yeah, that's not good. I feel like I might be starving not starving, slowly killing my family on accident if I'm putting that Teflon pieces of chunks that you see every once in a while in there. Not a good thing. So here we go. We've got our clams, got our juice. Put it back up on high now, because what we're going to do is reduce this pretty much almost by half. And see, our pasta is still not completely boiling. I'm going to give that a good stir so that nothing is sticking, even though I put that oil in there. I don't want my pasta to stick. Oh, nothing like getting a big goop of stuck together, dry, chewy pasta. I'll pass. Thank you very much. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to cover this up just so that it can start to boil a little bit. Now I can add just a tiny bit more salt. This is something that you really want to watch, because the clams, they are from the sea, correct? They're from salt water. So you want to make sure that you don't add too much salt. It's one thing you can do is you can never have too little, but you can always add more. I did put lemon here. I don't usually put it in there because it's not something that I am a particular fan of. I love lemons, don't get me wrong, but because the wine has some acidity. Usually if you're not using wine, you can use, I've never used this one before. I think it might be something simple. Oh well, anyway, it's a great brand, love it. I have a real lemon here too. To get the most out of your lemons, you roll it like this. You get this squeeze, use it on your countertop. That's how you get all your juice out. If you want it a little bit of lemon, go for it. I personally don't always put it in there, very rarely. Get yourself some nice amount of parsley. About 1/3 of a cup in there. Ready to go. There's our pasta. Timer. Boom. Give it a good stir. Let it boil. Here we go. So we have this on high now for our clams. Let's vent that so we don't overflow. Look at that, already looking so delicious. How simple is that? Let it boil, boil, boil. Everything will start coming together, all your flavors. Yum, delicious. People who don't like onions, guess what? They'll never even know they're there. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of clean it up a little bit and wait for our clam sauce to reduce a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to make a Caesar salad. It is the most difficult Caesar salad in the world, let me tell you. And of course, you know by now, I am not telling you the full truth. Doing something simple. So, let's travel back over here. Of course, it's in a bag. It's already pre-washed, pre-soaked. Why would we do anything else? Why? Everything is so easy that you can have a homemade meal in a matter of 20 minutes. That looks like you spent all day. People are like, wow, look at that. So here we go. Let me get you back over here. Hopefully you can see me. Let's take a look. Oh, can't see my bowl. Yep, now you can see my bowl. There we go. Hello, here I am. I always do this last, actually. That's where my pasta is gonna go from there. Here's a nice bowl. My Aunt Denise gave this to me. Sadly, she passed, but she was just like a mother to me. Oh my gosh, I loved her so much. She was the youngest of 3, and my mother and my Aunt Denise actually had the same birthday, 7 years apart, born on April Fool's Day. How cool is that? Could you imagine? So we just have a little salad. It's just the 3 of us now. Since I told you that our son Alex is in the Marine Corps boot camp as we speak. I have his schedule behind me and we get to see what he's doing. So let's see, what is he doing today? Today he went for a 5K hike. Bet he loved that. And academic classes, COD, which is close order drill, where they go left, 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 right, left, all that kind of stuff. And also learning about core values and ethics for the Marine program. How cool is that? Not everybody in my house likes bacon on their salad. Of course we love bacon. Everybody who doesn't. So I am going to go ahead and, I don't know about that cheese. I think I'll use fresh. So our little salad. Going to just go ahead and give my stir over here to my sauce. I have about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left for my pasta. I'm going to turn that up on high because it's not reducing as quickly as I would like it to. So here we go. I am going to have a good pair of kitchen scissors. Make sure nobody takes your kitchen scissors and uses it for craft ideas. Not a good thing. But if they do, alcohol, so you can, not the drinking kind, I mean isopropyl. So go ahead, give yourself a little bit, don't add a lot. People sometimes don't like as much dressing as you may. I personally just like the taste of it. I don't like it overpowering. And then what I'll do is just, excuse me, put this on. I'll just stick it in the bowl. My little dollar store lemon dishes. I think I've said this like 6 times in my videos. I love it. They're so cute. They were $1. You can have as many dishes as you like and add to your collection. And then I can add some yellow dishes, some green. There's even a little bit of brown in there, but I would do a gold charger, I think. I think that would look really pretty. Or a really deep emerald green charger. If you don't know what a charger is, it's basically a little plastic plate that is larger than your plate, and you put it on top and it makes everything look super duper fancy. I'm just gonna set this over the table, excuse me for a moment. Then make my pasta quick stir on over here. Oh, looking good. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. Okay, looking fantastic. This is in a nice boil, roaring boil. So it's going to start to chill out a little bit more. Oh, I hope I didn't just do that. Did I really do that? Sorry about that. I checked on my pasta, gave this a stir, and got myself out some salad tongs. Hey, I actually got these from the Olive Garden. I asked the lady, may I have a set? She actually gave them to me. But then I saw them at the dollar store. Couldn't believe it. Yes, dollar store, me. I'm sitting here going dollar store, dollar store, dollar store. I'm not obsessed with the dollar store. I just happen to like it. Not everything, but if it is metal, please make sure you cleaned out all of your surfaces prior to. I know I'm picking up things and putting them back in here, but prior to my cooking on anything, I make sure that I scrub my counters down and they are antibacterial wiped. They are ready to go so that if I do drop something or whatever, I can make sure that I can put it back in there. Now, of course, I would not if I had a meat dish. I clean up and I clean as I go because so much easier to do that. Thankfully, my husband does do cleanup work, working on my daughter to do that, but we'll get there. So anyway, that's done. Again, not everybody likes the bacon. The guys are over there. Okay, not everybody likes the bacon, so I'm just going to set this on the table. Just going to open it up so everybody can sprinkle de-wrinkle all they want. As little or as much as they want. Okay. Got on my table in that same little bowl. I do like to make homemade croutons, and I'll share that with you another time. They're really delicious. There we go. So, like I said, I am going to use my own homemade grated Parmesan cheese. The other stuff that you get in the store, I knew it. My daughter uses it all the time. I always know when my kitty has used a grater because she gets it stuck and doesn't try to get anything unstuck. Typical, it's okay. I love her. She's so cute. She's so beautiful. Anyway, give us a good couple of little shavings in there. The Olive Garden actually gave me one of these too. All you have to do is ask. Like, really? Yeah, heck yeah. Put that on the table for, this is done. First thing I'm going to do is that stuff down in the garbage disposal. Now, if you've watched my shows and little tidbits and things before, you will know that I cannot stand, a big pet peeve of mine is to have, let me see if you're able to see this. Let's get you a little closer. Okay. A pet peeve of mine is, whoa, sorry. There we go. Is that fabulous garbage disposal and having water bubble up and get into your food. It's disgusting. Ugh. So what I do is, sorry about that. Please don't get seasick on me, people. Back up a little. There we go. Okay, that works.